Stop wasting your money. The truth about balcony cabins. Hey, travelers! Most cruisers avoid interior staterooms like the plague. No windows, no views. Some say it's like sleeping in a shoebox in the middle of the ocean. So why do I keep booking them again and again? Well, after more than 30 cruises and thousands of dollars saved, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Inside cabins are one of the most underrated cruise travel hacks. They're not glamorous, they don't have views, but they've allowed me to travel more, cruise more, and believe it or not, enjoy my vacations more. Today I'm going to explain why I always choose an interior stateroom, even when I could pay for something more expensive. Plus, I'll reveal benefits almost no one knows about, including how a balcony upgrade went totally wrong for me. Let's get started. Reason number 1, extreme savings. Let me put this into perspective. On my last Mediterranean cruise, a balcony cabin cost $2,300. The interior one in the exact same category, $1,400. That $900 difference isn't just a number on a bill. It translated into real experiences I added to my trip. With those savings, I bought 3 premium excursions, an unlimited drinks package, and I still had money left over for a spa massage. While others watched the port from their balcony, I was swimming in Santorini's hot springs, thanks to the money I saved. But here's the craziest part. That wasn't even my best deal. On an Alaska cruise, I monitored prices for months using fare alerts. 2 weeks before departure, my interior cabin dropped by $450. A simple email to my travel agent and boom, instant onboard credit to use. People make the mistake of thinking that paying more means better vacations. But on cruises, you're often paying for dead space. Do you really need that balcony when you'll spend 80% of your time on deck, on excursions, or in restaurants? Let me put it like this. The thousands you save on interiors don't disappear. They turn into more cruises. Last year, I took 2 7-day trips for what others paid for one with a balcony. The math doesn't lie. And if you're thinking, but I want to enjoy my room, I challenge you. Bring a watch next time. Track how many waking hours you really spend in your cabin. I bet it's less than you think. Reason number 2, absolute silence. This might sound contradictory, but interior cabins are some of the quietest places on the ship. Yes, those same rooms people describe as claustrophobic are actually peaceful oases in the middle of cruise chaos. I learned this the hard way. On my 5th cruise, I treated myself to a panoramic ocean view cabin overlooking the ship's central atrium. Sounded great on paper, views of all the activities, they said. What they didn't say? That atrium turned into a nightclub until 2 a.m. The sound of footsteps on the glass walkway above us, the shrill laughter, the music vibrating through the walls. It was the worst night's sleep I've ever had at sea. On the next cruise, I returned to my humble interior on Deck 8, tucked between other passenger cabins. The difference was abysmal. No windows meant no external noise, no busy corridors in front of my door, just silence. The kind of silence that makes you sleep in late without realizing it. Now I have a system. I always pick interior cabins on mid-level decks, surrounded by other rooms above and below. Nothing near elevators, lounges, or service areas. It's like finding that perfect hotel room away from the elevator, but on steroids. The irony is delicious. People pay extra for balconies with views and fresh air, but then can't sleep because of the wind noise, waves hitting the hull, or neighbors chatting at 3 a.m. Meanwhile, I'm in my dark box, sleeping like a baby rocked by absolute silence. And when you have intense itineraries with excursions at 7 a.m., that deep sleep becomes your secret weapon. There's nothing worse than paying for an incredible onshore experience and being too tired to enjoy it. Interiors protect you from that, without you even realizing it. Reason number 3, quality sleep. Here's the best-kept secret about interior cabins. You sleep better than in any other type of cabin. And it's not just my opinion. There's science behind it. When I booked my first balcony, I was excited to wake up to ocean views. The reality? Every morning at 5:45 a.m., sunlight blasted through the curtains like a laser, lighting up the room like it was noon. I tried everything: sleep masks, makeshift blackout curtains with towels. Nothing worked. My body just couldn't understand it was still sleep time with all that light. I ended each day of my vacation exhausted, needing a nap instead of enjoying the ship. The next trip, I went back to an interior. The difference was ridiculous. I slept 8 hours straight without waking up once. No sunlight deceiving my brain, no water reflections dancing on the ceiling, just perfect darkness like a cave. And when you have days full of excursions, that restorative sleep is more valuable than any view. The craziest part is that it works at any time. Want to take a nap at 4 p.m. after a day at the beach? In an interior, your body thinks it's midnight. Need to sleep in after a late night out? No sunbeam will come to ruin it. It's like having total control over your biological clock. Compare that to window cabins, where the sunrise wakes you up even if you don't have excursions. Or balconies, where the flickering water reflection keeps you in a half-awake state all night. Interiors give you what you really need on a cruise: quality rest to make the most of your awake hours. And don't underestimate this. When you're paying thousands for a vacation, every lost hour of sleep is literally money thrown overboard. Interiors protect you from that, effortlessly. Reason number 4, smart design. The first time I booked an interior cabin, I imagined the worst. Bumping into walls while getting dressed, luggage not fitting under the bed, a bathroom I could barely turn around in. Reality totally surprised me. Cruise lines have mastered space design to near microscopic levels. My typical inside cabin on newer ships has more smart storage than my first apartment. Closets go up to the ceiling, beds have room underneath for big suitcases, and I always find hidden spots, like that little shelf next to the bathroom mirror that's perfect for a toothbrush and skincare. I ran an experiment on my last cruise. I timed how much time I actually lived in my cabin. Between breakfast at 8 a.m., activities until 11 p.m., and only using the room to change and sleep, the total was less than 10 hours in 7 days. Is it really worth paying double for extra space I don't even use? Ship designers know this. That's why modern interiors have comfortable queen-size beds, well-placed outlets, and even small convertible sofas. Everything is designed to maximize every square centimeter. It's like those viral tiny house apartments. Every element has multiple functions. Next time you see photos of an interior cabin, look closer at the details. Strategic door hooks, tilted shelves in the bathroom, directional lighting that makes the space feel bigger. It's not a floating closet, it's a space engineering masterpiece disguised as a basic room. And here's the key point: that extra space in more expensive cabins often just means more empty space. Do you really need 5 extra square meters to pace in circles? I'd rather have that money take me to another port. Reason number 5, guilt-free freedom. No one talks about the psychological weight of expensive cabins, but it's real. When you pay $3,000 for a balcony, suddenly you feel like you have to use it. We should stay in and enjoy the view. Let's have our coffee here to make it worth it. What started as a luxury becomes an invisible chain tying you to your room. I lived this myself on a Caribbean cruise. I scored an upgrade to a suite for a decent price. And suddenly every decision revolved around justifying the cost. Go to the nightly show or stay on the balcony. Have breakfast at the buffet or order room service. We ended up missing great activities because of that gotta use what we paid for mindset. With interiors, that pressure disappears. No voice in your head saying you should be using your balcony right now. You sleep, shower, put your things away, and go out to experience the ship to the fullest. That freedom is addictive. There's something liberating about knowing you're not wasting money if you decide to spend 0 time in your cabin. You can have breakfast on deck with an ocean view, read in the ship's quiet lounge, and watch the sunset from the bow without feeling like you should be on your private balcony. Interiors give you the psychological permission to enjoy the ship exactly how you want. No guilt. And when you drop that pressure, you realize the best cruise moments rarely happen in your room, no matter how luxurious it is. Bonus: unexpected technology. Prepare for what I'm about to tell you because it sounds like science fiction. Some interior staterooms now have ocean views without having real windows. The first time I stepped into one of these on a Royal Caribbean Quantum-class ship, I had to rub my eyes. A curved floor-to-ceiling screen showed in real time what was happening outside the ship. Crashing waves, sunsets, even the ports when we arrived. It's not exactly like a balcony, of course. You can't feel the sea breeze or smell the ocean. But for someone who suffers a bit from claustrophobia, that illusion of space is a radical change. Norwegian has taken this further with their virtual windows in single cabins, HD screens that simulate natural daylight. Here's my personal experience with this. I booked an interior with a virtual balcony on the Harmony of the Seas, mainly out of curiosity. To my surprise, it ended up being my favorite cabin to date. Waking up to a simulated sunrise without the real sun burning my retinas at 5 a.m. was a revelation. I could see the weather outside without leaving my bed, which helped plan my day. These innovations are changing the game. It's no longer a binary choice between real views or a dark cave. Now there's a middle ground where you pay interior prices, but get some psychological benefits of window cabins. Does it completely replace the balcony experience? Obviously not, but for those cruises where you spend little time in the room but want to avoid that feeling of being cooped up, this technology is like cleverly cheating. And the best part is that these cabins are still significantly cheaper than true ocean view cabins. When a balcony is worth it. I'll be fair here, there are times when an interior cabin isn't the best option. If you're sailing through the Norwegian fjords or the Alaskan coast, where the landscape changes every minute and is a fundamental part of the experience, then yes, a balcony can be worth every penny. I learned this on an Iceland cruise. I booked an interior as always, until I saw a group of passengers spotting whales from their balconies, while I had to run to the deck and fight for a spot at the railing. At that specific moment, I understood the value of having your own private piece of the landscape. You also have to consider what type of traveler you are. If you enjoy spending hours reading in private, drinking coffee while looking at the sea, or simply need your own refuge away from the crowds, the upgrade might make sense. I know couples who prefer balconies because it gives them that intimate space to reconnect. But here's the real test. If your itinerary includes 5 ports in 7 days, where you'll barely be on the ship during the day, are you really going to use that balcony? Calculate the cost per hour of actual use. On my Western Caribbean cruise, the balcony would have cost me about $75 per hour of real use. Too much for my budget. The key is to be honest with yourself. If you're someone who lives in the pools, bars, and on excursions, an interior is probably all you need. But if you long for those quiet moments of contemplation with private views, then this might be your exception to the rule. So that's why I almost always choose an interior cabin, and maybe you should too. You save thousands, sleep better than ever, escape the noise, get a surprisingly functional space, and free yourself from the pressure of making the most of an expensive room. Next time you book a cruise, ask yourself, do you really need that view, or would you rather have more money for adventures and an amazing night's sleep? Let me know in the comments, what kind of cabin do you usually book, and why? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more cruise tips. Thanks for watching, and happy sailing!